I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I feel like dog shit. You know, it's not just not getting enough sleep. My eye sockets feel like I owe them money and they're making me feel it, you know? Jesus Christ. I couldn't sleep until like 5 a.m. yesterday. This is stream number 666. Maybe it's a curse then. That could be it. Possibly, you know. Uh Hi. Time Person of the Year, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, named most influential of 2021. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually disagree with this. See, the Time Person of the Year is supposed to refer to influence, not how good a person is, you know? And unfortunately, Elon Musk kind of is the, the driver of the modern era, you know? In that he's the richest man on earth, a billionaire charlatan who has wrapped people up in a wave of fake techno-futurism as a way of distracting them from the fact that he is ideologically and practically indistinguishable from any 20th century robber baron. But let's see what they say about him. Do they say good stuff or do they just say, like, yeah, he's very wealthy? Please let me finish writing this article. Person of the Year is a marker of influence. Few have more influence than Musk. On life on Earth, potentially life off Earth too. Tragically true. Time editor-in-chief Edward Felsenthal wrote, in 2021, Musk emerged not just as the world's richest person, but also as perhaps the richest example of a massive shift in our society. Talks about some of the stuff that he's done. The tradition from Time began as Man of the Year and has since changed to not only recognize an individual, but also consider the impact of a group, movement, or idea. In 2020, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were picked together as Person of the Year. The annual choice is not necessarily considered an honor, since the selection could have wielded negative influence. In 1938, Adolf Hitler was the Man of the Year. How red-pilled of them. Some of Musk's behavior has gotten him in trouble. Okay, the safety of Tesla's cars have also been under scrutiny. Oh, that's nice. Okay, this isn't a puff piece. They're just acknowledging that he's an influential person, which I cannot deny that. I can't. I can't deny that is definitely true. Yeah, Hitler was influential. Listen, is this a segment now? I guess sure. Listen, Elon Musk is exceptional in PR only. Okay, I've said this a million times before, and I'll say it again. If you are impressed by the technological achievements of the companies that he runs, you're impressed by his engineers. Okay? Now, you might be under the impression that, sure, maybe the engineers do the bit-by-bit technical work, but Elon Musk is the vision guy, Elon Musk is the guy who comes up with these big ideas. No, his big ideas are shit, actually. First of all, engineers, common day-to-day engineers who are paid barely, what they're worth if they're lucky, have plenty of big ideas. You talk to any average engineer who works for, regular wages, and they will have a universe in their mind they will have incredible ideas. They just don't have the money to finance it. That doesn't make Elon Musk exceptional in vision. There are plenty of eccentric billionaires, but eccentricity is not the same as engineering genius. And you can see that because a lot of his ideas are fucking idiotic. His idea to develop a rocket transportation system, which would be thousands of times more expensive, dangerous, and destructive to the environment for a minimal gain in transportation speed. The Hyperloop, instead of trains, the underground gamer tunnel, his ridiculous Cybertruck, his like all the big ideas for which Elon Musk is famed. You know, I'm reminded of that Jordan Peterson clip about Elon Musk, and God, what a soyful combination. Oh man, the mediocre males, two daddies, referring to one another. You know, Jordan Peter said something. Does anyone have the clip here? I think I want to find it because it makes me really angry when I see it, and I'm hoping kind of it wakes me up a little bit. We see it's like a 30-second clip. If I could just find. I'm only seeing longer. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. 18 million views in this video, by the way. 18 million views. Many rooms were cleaned after this.
Someone like Elon Musk, I mean, what the hell do you make of someone like that? You know, I mean, what did he do? He made an electric car, which is basically impossible.
Nope. Electric cars have been around for nearly 100 years. Seriously. And not only have electric cars been around for nearly 100 years, it's not difficult to imagine batteries and electric-powered engines aren't new. He did not... It is not impossible to make an electric car. Not only that, but there were other car companies that were making commercially viable electric cars for mass production before Tesla. What Tesla did was made the electric car fancy and high class, at least in the perceptions of people. Whereas before, electric cars were seen kind of like a fart-sniffing, you know, Prius liberal kind of thing. It's really, again, it's a PR shift. Like, oh, now Tesla is like a fancy, you know, sports car. This is not... wait, hold on. Electric cars. Weren't these around in like the 1920s? Like these were around like... Look at this. Robert Anderson, often credited with inventing the first electric car sometime between 1832 and 1839? Wait, that's before cars. That's before cars even happened. That's decades before cars even happened. Admittedly, the first run of it probably wasn't like commercially viable. Yeah, first practical electric cars in the 1880s, before World War I. Yeah, you know. But this is the thing that Elon Musk does, you know, fail upward. Mediocrity is celebrated if you give it the right glitz glam, the right coat of paint. Elon Musk, you know, it's a snake oil salesman. Really, it is. It's homeopathy. You have a perfectly serviceable industry, medicine, transportation, whatever, and then you've got a person with a very tall hat rolling around to sell you something, you know, new. That's a poorly referenced paragraph. I think the point that I'm making applies just fine here.
And it works, which is basically impossible.
No.
And then he built an infrastructure so that you could charge the damn thing wherever you drove, and that was basically impossible.
How is building Tesla charging stations basically it's a charging station. And he did it through government subsidy. And he didn't even do it well. And those already existed. Electric vehicle charging stations have been around for a long time. They grew more popular. Yeah, didn't you know Elon Musk invented electricity? Yeah, go back and tell you know, like it's like the what's it called, the Mandela effect. You know, it wasn't electricity invented back like 300 years ago or something? When did we Wasn't there like a kite and a key in a storm and the lightning struck it? And then you like look on Wikipedia and it says right there, electricity was invented in 1986 by Elon Musk. Like, oh, huh, okay. Yeah, yeah, and Tesla has tried to muscle other electric car companies out of the market by making theirs like Tesla compatible only, which is actually a brilliant demonstration of a free market failure. Uh, this is monopolization in effect. Without regulation preventing him from doing this, he's creating infrastructure that artificially prioritizes his electric cars while sabotaging the viability of electric cars in general, you know. This is one of the critical problems with letting industry take hold of infrastructure, you know? Can you imagine if every single gas station had a contract with a different car company and the gas hoses were only compatible with a particular car brand's gas tank? Can you imagine a world where that is literally what Tesla is doing? That is literally the thing that is happening.
And then he made it cheap because if you buy an electric car and you factor in the price of gas, the electric car is actually about as expensive as the gasoline car. And so that was unbelievable.
I don't think so. You'd have to drive. What is the cost of like a regular like run of the mill Tesla? What is it like? Isn't it like 50,000? Like 50K-ish? Yeah. How long would you have to buy gas? How often do I fill my car? If you have a full tank, does the average American maybe fill their car like twice a month? I don't know what an average amount of times to fill a tank from empty to full would be. Not from half to full, but like empty to full, like twice a month, once a month, once a week from empty to full. Yeah, I guess there are long commutes. See, if it's once a week, and what does it cost to fill a full tank these days? Like $80? This is really variable. This is like super variable stuff. $50 to fill it to full? I'm talking empty to full. Okay, look, whatever. Let's just say you spend $200 a month on gasoline. And that's, you know, that would be about let's just say 300 a year on gasoline. If a Tesla is $50,000, 300 a year. Wait, did I just do my math wrong? Yeah, I totally just did. Sorry, it's 3,000. 3,000 a year. If it's 3,000 a year in gasoline, then if your average car is like what, 20,000, 3,000, 15 years? I've never used an electric car. Is there any cost associated with using the charging stations at all? Like, do you put a quarter in there and it fills up, or it's just like free? Probably free, right? Oh, there is? Wait, there is? Oh, you'd think they'd be a loss leader on that, you know, just like do it for okay. They charge you, yeah, how much? It's pennies on the mile. Okay, yeah, it's probably a very small. Yeah, yeah, it's probably a very small amount. Yeah. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-electric car. I'm anti-car in general. Okay, we should take trains. I'm trying to work the math out on this. You know, it's.
And then he built a bloody rocket, which was 1/10 the price or less.
He didn't build the rocket. This is what I mean about capitalism. This is what I mean. You see, capitalists like to pretend they reward individual success. No, you fucking don't. He didn't build that rocket. Engineers built the rocket. He doesn't build rockets. What did he have to do with the mechanical construction of that outside the general design goal? If he even contributed that. This is what I mean. This is when I say, and I mean this, by the way, capitalism is collectivist. Who profits from your labor? Your boss. Who gets the credit for your labor? Your boss. Who gets op-eds written about them, praising them for their genius when all they did was go to board meetings and decide where money should be allocated, while you spent years of your life fastidiously developing cutting-edge technology. Your boss. It's disgusting. Legitimately. It's absolutely disgusting.
That of a NASA rocket that you could reuse, which was impossible.
It was an impressive achievement on his engineers.
And then he put one of his cars on top of the rocket and he shot it up into space. And then this happened, right? This all happened and he's still alive. And
this is what I mean. This is what I mean. And yeah, you can look at the comments if you want, which, okay, they seem to be memes, but 18 million views, you know. People soy over Elon Musk. They soy so hard. They crunch their little Soylent containers in both hands, and the soy is just spewing out, you know, because they love it. And the reason they love it is because most Elon Musk fans are, let's be real here, ideologically submissive. They love to live underneath the boot of a person who they consider to be deserving of absolute power. If you talk to Elon Musk fans, they talk about him like he's some kind of holistic super genius, you know? This is the Randian myth. Maybe Elon Musk is exceptional. Maybe he's a good businessman. He certainly is a successful businessman. I'm willing to acknowledge that. Wouldn't take that away from him. You know, they think he's a great engineer. Okay, fine. But there are a lot of people who talk about Elon Musk as though he would be a good politician. Have you seen this? Elon Musk, you should run for president. You've seen this, right? Now, I see this all the time because I do politics. So, you know, people are like, Vosh, you should run for president. I don't take that seriously, but Elon Musk is the kind of guy who could run for president. You guys know that, right? I'm sorry. Logistically, I don't know if he can because he's not an American. I mean, in terms of the type of person that he is. Does that make any sense? Elon Musk, the archetype, the person. Yeah, he wasn't born here. Elon Musk, the type of person. No, I know he's not. I mean, the person that he is, the type of person. Trump won. You know, a real estate billionaire. Trump won. Elon Musk is, in my mind, far more terrifying than Donald Trump. And you know why? Because I think both of them are autocrats, but one of them, at the very least, one of them at least has to posture at populism. You know, Trump has to play to a crowd. Have you seen Elon Musk talk to a crowd of people? Christ, I thought I had autism. Listen, Elon Musk is the terror end state of a democracy, okay? A technocratic authoritarian. And his fans are, in addition to being soy-faced nerds who desperately need a father figure in their life, they are, I think, as roped into his cult of personality as anyone could be to an autocrat. I fear people like Elon Musk, not because they're intellectually impressive, but because they're so good at leading the mediocre around, you know? You've probably seen the meme on Twitter where, like, China is building high-speed rail, like tens of thousands of miles all over the place, and Elon's like, guys, just wait, I'll build a Hyperloop. It's been like a decade and nothing's happened, you know? Because it won't, because it's a stupid idea. You know? I'm just rambling at this point. I'm too tired to do a whole thing. Just... Okay. Vosh, please don't call him a technocat. I'm a technocrat. Ooh. Vor. Where's Shu? Ew. Government would be better if only an unelected oligarchy of scientists. One of the biggest revelations I had in my life, I'm being serious, this is some fucking fat wisdom right here, okay? This is some dank ass shit. For a lot of my early life, I thought the problem with government, with culture, with everything, was stupid people. And of course, I wasn't one of the stupid people. I thought that was the main issue, that people were dumb and they mismanaged things. That if only I was in charge, I could manage things better. And I was critically wrong. The issue is not and never has been dumb people, ever. It never has been at all. Dumb people are not a threat to the survival of the human race. They're not a threat to our happiness or well-being, except maybe in very petty ways, I guess. It's evil people. It's people with different morals that act on a different set of principles, that prioritize different sets of things to the exclusion of others' well-being. Shut up, Tempest. That is the critical issue here. Stupidity is really not the matter here. It's different moral principles. You can call it malice, or you can call it just a respect for different things. Whatever. It's moral misalignments. No, they're not mutually exclusive. But, and you've seen this throughout history, putting smart people in charge does not fix the fucking problems, does it? We have had smart presidents, like Nixon, who have been, remarkably destructive in many ways to, or Obama. Obama is an incredibly intelligent person. I've no doubt about that. And you've had less bright presidents who, I say JFK, not gonna lie, JFK never really rung me as a high IQ individual. Look, who are perhaps slightly better. Yeah, himbo energy. Yeah, Carter might be. Yeah, look, it's not about how smart you are. That's just not the critical issue. You'll be sorry when he returns. Yeah. Nothing bad ever happens to smart people. Yeah. How do you feel about technocratic control of federal agencies like Fauci running the CDC? I'm not asking for democratic elections in our federal agencies. Technocracy is political control by those people. Federal agencies, they're appointed. I think that's fair. If you have like the Federal Institute of Medicine, I want a doctor to be in charge of that, not an elected figure. That's fine. I'm talking about political control. Or to put it another way, putting smart people in charge of our government is absolutely no guarantee that anything is going to get better for us. Being smart doesn't make you moral at all. In fact, being smart can often make it a lot easier for you to get away with immoral behavior, like significantly so. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to be able to achieve your goals in doing so. So, if you put like a super genius guy as president, like you think because he's smart, he's suddenly going to care about the working class? Why would you think that? What would ever make you... You do realize that for the entire history of feudalism, the most educated people on Earth were the royalty and the people they appointed as their tutors, right? In medieval societies, those were the learned people. There were scholars, and those scholars were brought in as teachers for royalty growing up. Those were the smartest people. The people in charge were the most learned, intelligent, and did that make them kinder to the peasantry? Did that make them kinder to the serfdom? Clearly not. In fact, their intelligence often made them more contemptuous, That was one of the reasons they believed in the divine right of rule. Imagine you're a little royalty, and you grow up in a gilded palace. You grow up with hundreds of servants at your beck and your whim, and every once in a while you travel out to the countryside to meet with the aristocracy, to visit local lords, to, see the people, and you see the peasantry. Oh, you see the peasantry. Now you've been raised since you were 3 years old by a collection of scholars taken from Oxford University, brought to you to teach you everything: philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, everything interesting to you. And then you go out to see the peasantry, and you see these dirt-caked, shit-footed, hob-footed, slack-jawed, broken-toothed imbeciles, not even semi-literate. I mean, just absolutely, they talk in thick, drawling accents because they weren't raised under court decorum like you. And tell me, you are smarter than them. That's undeniable. Overwhelmingly so. You've had every imaginable advantage. You're almost certainly smarter than they are. And does that make you any more sympathetic Does that make you even an iota kinder to them or more interested in their well-being? No, if anything, it probably cements your belief in what you've been told your entire life, which is that you're a better kind of person than they are, that they're lesser people and you're better people. And your right to rule is clear. Democracy wouldn't work. Look at who would be voting. That was the argument against democracy, by the way. Democracy as a concept has been around for thousands of years. And when people would argue against it, often learned people, educated people, they would argue, hey, look at the peasantry. You seriously want them? You want government to be in any way dictated by these guys and not controlled by the divinely ordained bloodline full of leaders who have been raised since birth by the smartest men in the world. That's what you want. You want the shit people to rule, essentially. Just understand, okay? Intelligence does not guarantee a better society. Yeah. The general population is too stupid to vote has been long-standing the best argument against democracy. It is. It's the best argument because I believe it too. People are too stupid to vote. Tragically, every other system of government is worse, so we're stuck with that one. Democracy for the people, by the people, but the people are retarded. It's true. That is a correct belief. But we haven't found anything better. So that's just true. Problems with the educational system? Of course. There are ways systemically of addressing this. I'm just warning people against the naive belief that if you just got the right person in charge, it's always about the systems. This is a semi-segment, I guess. I just just cap it off, Osho, hit me up.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
So true. So true. By the way, it takes unimaginable confidence to pause for that long in the middle of a sentence. That is some incredible Sigma behavior right there. Incredible stuff. He's not wrong, though, in a way. He is demonstrably, empirically correct. Like I said, not a better system out there. That shit, I'm sorry. You have to accept this. Any advocate for democracy. So this was going to be your original slogan, but we with politics is dumb but very important instead. God damn, I wish I should have. If I just ripped the slogan and made this the Vosh slogan, that would have been so good. I'm just saying any advocate for democracy has to accept the wisdom of Osho's, adage here. Okay, you have to. If you don't believe that what he's said is correct, then you cannot fairly advocate for democracy. Okay, cut this out. I didn't even want to stop. Stop. God, my head hurts. Destiny had a wild take on cracker mental gymnastics. I saw that he was having a few wacky ones, actually. This was my favorite one, I think. We have the PragerU discourse going down, Huh. White people enslave black people? Well, did you know that black people also enslave black people? Yeah, it's a PragerU argument. Very good. Owned. Did I already cover JK Rowling? Oh, I put that in the title as total clickbait. I covered JK Rowling yesterday. I hate you, by the way. There's nothing I wouldn't put in my stream titles to get you in here. One of these days, I'm just going to have the title of the stream be your address. All of yours, simultaneously. I'll find a way. Okay? You'll click, you know, you'll think like, "Oh my god. What is this stream going to be?" Totally normal stream. Thank you all very much for your for your links. I love it when you link. I adore your linking. Thank you so much. There are a couple of things that we need to go over before we even consider any other segments. Not the least of which is this. Guys, we had a very, very special moment from yesterday's stream. And you could have seen it live if you watched my video game streams, but sadly you all suck, so you weren't there. And by you all, I mean probably about 2/3 of you. Look. While I went to the bathroom. Look. I love her so much. So cute. She was being so cute the other day. Here. Here's the... I posted this at 4 a.m. yesterday. Meow, 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 meow. New streamer. Did she say the N-word? No, Artemis says the N-word. Pigeon's a tanky. Pigeon's about to start talking about how the Kulaks deserve worse. So this is your replacement. Isn't she better than me? What are her thoughts on neopronouns? I feel like a cat. I feel like a cat would have to be by default pro neopronouns because people call cats everything under the sun. You know what I mean? Like baby, ooh, stupid, stinky chicken, ooh, like I feel like language has to be very fluid for them. Sticky chicken, ooh, mushroom. I think that's just you. If you're not nicknaming your pets like 5,000 nicknames that you cycle in and out of at your pleasure, I don't even know what you're doing. What are you even doing? Okay, we need to continue with the stream, but before we can, I have a new update in the gun discourse. I want to talk to you guys about it again for like the 15th time, okay? So as you guys know, I am an American. And in addition to this making me better than all non-Americans, it also means that I can own, like, literally any firearm I want. There's basically no limits whatsoever. I could buy a decommissioned Soviet tank if I wanted. I can do whatever I want. So, I've wanted a rifle. And I was talking about this. This is the Mini 14. I talked about this the past 2 streams, I think. I quite like it, you know. It's, I like wood guns. This gun, I mean, in terms of how this gun like fires, it's a semi-automatic rifle. I mean, it can be like an AR-15. However, here's the thing, okay? What I care most about is how shiny I can make it. Can I engrave the metal? Can I carve the wood? The answer here is yes. But I think I found something even better, okay? The Vepr 223. This might be it, lads. These are quite hard to get at the moment. Look at this. It comes with pre-engraved back and front grips. It's pistol grip, meaning that it's significantly more, well, it handles better, you know. And because there's a larger sort of block of metal, you can get much more detailed engraving done here. And then I can get like some, like, you know, like the laser wood engraving done here on the stock. How fucking cool would that be? Does it fire 556? Yeah, this chamber's like 6 types of ammunition, but I'd get like the 223, right? Well, don't they fire the same? Yeah. Anyway, I think this is, and plus it's a pistol grip, not a rifle grip, which means that it's just going to handle better, you know. You have a link? It's just the Vepr 223, VEPR 223, and it's a Kalashnikov rifle. It's in the AK line. You know, AK-47, the meme gun. Well, this is in that line. It's from the same, you know. From what I understand, it's considered a high-quality rifle. So, yeah, let's go. Maximum LARPing. Yeah, it's like a hipster AK-47. I love it. I think it's beautiful. If I got, like this, some wood engraving on the stock, if I stain the wood, make it a little bit darker or more red, and get engraving on the metalwork, oh my god. Like, that would be really pretty. I think that would look really, really nice. If it's not common, Vosh, doesn't that mean you won't be able to find one to shoot before you buy? The 223 is difficult to get. I can probably go to a range and find a 308 Winchester chambered model and get a basic feel for firing it, you know. Are guns like a fashion thing for you, or do you seriously worry about self-defense? Let me ask you about cars, okay? Imagine your favorite car. The car that you'd buy if you didn't have to worry about money. Now, when you think of the car that you would buy if you didn't have to worry about money, does your mind instantly go to the car that has the highest safety rating in every category? No, it doesn't. In fact, I'd be willing to bet you probably don't even know which cars have the highest safety rating. No, you don't. No, don't lie, chat. I know how consumer purchasing. No, you don't. You think of cool-looking cars, and then you think, well, I'd probably find the one that functions best with the highest, mileage in that range. Okay? Now, you are 1,000 times more likely to die to a car than you are to a gun. So, if the question is, am I willing to sacrifice a minute bit of tactical viability by not just getting an AR-15 so that I can have a beautiful piece of art that I can engrave and customize to my heart's content? The answer is yes. I'm going to look at the damn thing and take it to a range, then fuck yeah, I'm absolutely going to get me a shiny goddamn gun. Surprised you didn't go for a lever action rifle. They offer way more options for engraving. Yeah, that goes too far towards the non-viability, in my mind, you know. See, this thing is, in almost every way, functionally identical to an AK. Or sorry, not an AK, an AR-15. A lever-action rifle is significantly less effective. That'd be like driving a stick shift. No, that would be like driving a jalopy, you know. Does that have to be a 5.56? I'm just going for the cheaper ammo. I could go for a 308 Winchester on this gun, but that ammunition is 50% more expensive. Right now, Remington 223 is like 40 cents per round, and 308 is like 60 cents per round, and that adds up, you know. How big is the Vepr? 3 barrel ranges, I think. 15, 18, and 21 inch. Get an automatic crossbow. True. Okay. We good? Come on, guys. How pretty is that going to be? Oh, you know it's going to be pretty. I think it's gorgeous. I would pay any amount of money and any amount of LARPy whatever to not have a gun that looks like this. I would just get sick looking at this on my wall. I would see this. Oh my god, it's so tactical. That's a very ugly AR. That's an AR-15. This is just like it's just an AR-15. What about an AR-15 with wood furniture? No, that doesn't really like make it. Maybe it makes it a little bit better, but to me it just looks like somebody took an AR-15 and then gave it wood furniture. There's no artistry to it. The AR-15 is popular because it's cheap and effective. It's like the efficient gun. It's like The AR-15 is like the equivalent of wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. It's like the equivalent. Yeah, it's cheap and customizable. It's like the equivalent of like it's a Honda Civic. Yeah. And then like, oh, you put spoilers on your Honda Civic. I mean, it looks better, but what's the point of having a wooden stock if it's just a perfect triangle? There's no curve to it. There's no swoop. Look at this. Look at this. It's just a single piece of wood. It's there's no carving. There's no swoop. There's no soul. This has soul to it. Look at that. Look at the design of this stock. Look at that. That is beautiful. Look at the engraving done in the front grip. Look at the subtle curve that guides the hand here. That is a nice firearm. And this is less than $1,000 too. It's not super expensive. What are AR-15? 700? Something like that? This is 900. Okay. It's a gun wash. It's a piece of equipment. Like, oh my God. Do you have an opinion on this? Judge me by how well loved I am by my cats. Does he bite? All the time, but only out of love. Seriously, he bites all the time for any reason, but he never bites hard enough to hurt. At least not me. I think it hurts vermin, but I don't mind the pain as much. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, and we've got him. And he's a flopping on the top of a chair that is just not large enough really to accommodate his frame. So he's just going to sort of slip off. What about this AR-15? Okay, I will look at one more and then I'm done. Okay. Oh, this is quite expensive. $2,000 or so. Okay. This is a significant improvement. Okay. At least the wooden furniture here was carved with some fucking decency. It's not literally just like a single triangle and then just like a tube. This is better. I still significantly prefer the Vepr 223, but this is definitely an improvement. Too noisy? I feel like this is too much. These grooves, I feel like that's a bit too much. Maybe a bit deep. Too deep. Listen, can we just, last thing I'm going to say, can we just agree that guns were as pretty as they're ever going to be with lever action rifles, and everything since then has been an increase in effectiveness and a decrease in aesthetic viability? If you look up engraved lever action rifles, oh my God. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah? Is this your new station? Here, do you want to walk out onto my hand? I'm strong enough to hold your weight. Maybe. The leverage here is... Ooh! What a big leap! What a large leap. I'm so proud of you. Oh my goodness. What an excellent boy. What a phenomenal lad. Anyway, they're shiny, I think. Why not an antique gun? Those are much cooler. We're looking at an antique gun. There's not really much purpose for lever action guns anymore outside of what, maybe some target shoot, maybe for some hunting purposes. I don't know. Oh, Artemy, don't fuck with anything. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Artemy, are you going to flop behind the monitor? What are you? What is he doing? Why is he sniffing the orbs? Yeah, he's being a weird dumpy boy. Yes, yeah. He's gonna like rear up and disconnect my camera cable. If he flops right now, he's ending the stream.
Hold on, Artemy. Come on, buddy. Let's go get food. Come on. There we go.
All right.
Let's go get food.
There we go. Yes, the Ottoman Empire definitely had some bangers when it came to their weaponry. Okay, I apologize for soying over this. The next time you hear about guns, it'll be when I'm showing off the rifle, okay? All right. Does it have rails or optic foregrip options? And honestly, it has both, potentially. Why do you need it? I don't need anything. I don't know. I don't have to need something. What do you mean need? Where do you need it? I don't have to fucking justify why I need something. Why did I need a nice large water jug? Because I wanted it. Why did I need this phone case? Because I want... Fuck you. You have to tell me why I don't need it. Because it's dangerous? Cars are significantly more fucking dangerous than guns are. Because it's dangerous. What changing electronic equipment when I change my fixtures? When you turn off the brake, you could be electrocuted. Well, you didn't wear rubber gloves. What if the breaker was actually shit? Then yeah, fuck you. I have kitchen knives. What do you want? You think I don't juggle my kitchen knives? I got my goddamn fucking Japanese fucking $400 knife set. That shit could cut through the 1,000-folded Nippon steel blade, okay? I'm juggling those knives every goddamn day. You know why? Because I can, because I'm a fucking American. Because I'm a goddamn American. Where do you put your guns? In a secure safe, thank you. Because that's what I want. Fucking Puritans in chat, yeah. You juggle the safe, yeah. Cars are not for killing? Yeah, cars aren't for killing, and they still manage to kill like 1 trillion times more people than fucking guns. How dangerous are cars then? Holy shit. Guns are made for killing, and they don't manage to kill anywhere near as many people as guns in the United States every year. Jesus. Whew. More people use cars? Actually, I'm pretty sure there are more guns in the U.S. than there are cars. Right? Wait, actually, they're probably pretty close, right? There are like 400 million guns in the U.S. I don't know how many cars there are. Probably in the ballpark. Similar. Yeah, I want to get rid of cars. Listen, the America I want, no cars, all guns. All right? That's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. Get rid of those dangerous cars. Yeah. You have a gun safe? Yeah, why wouldn't I have a gun safe? I have guns. I have 6 guns. And I have 6 gun safes, one for each of them. That's how safe I am. No, I have 12 gun safes, okay? I have 6 of them are for 1 gun each, and 6 of them are for the ammunition for that gun, okay? If somebody broke into my house, it would take me 25 minutes to assemble the equipment to defend myself. That's how safe I am. Vosh, get me on right now. Debate your American brain. Why is it that every time guns come up, people it's like there's a fresh wave of liberals every stream? I have no idea what's going on. It's not liberals, right? It's Europeans. They're very scared by guns. Go to Switzerland. Everyone in Switzerland has a fucking gun. They have their fucking military service. Then everyone gets to keep the rifle after. What's the standard Swiss service rifle? Don't they all get to keep the SIG SG 550? Doesn't every Swiss household have a SIG just chilling in there? They don't have ammo though. You can get ammo. You can buy it. Hold on. Switzerland ammo buying laws. Swiss citizens can get a permit to buy guns and ammunition unless they have a criminal record or police deem them unsuitable on psychiatric or security grounds. God, you have to get a permit to buy ammunition? Yoink, Scoob. Yeah, okay, whatever. You can still bludgeon a person to death with a SIG. See this thing? This is dangerous with or without ammo. Look at that. I can fucking grab it by the this and just beat people to death. Jesus. The Swiss are lunatics. You believe it? No, Sir Political Banana, I have not. You can shoot handguns in the UK, but they make you do this to them. Wait, what? Wait, is this real? Is it they do this in the UK? What is this? Rudy Tooty point. Is this so you can't have it in a holster? Like this, the barrel extends so you, just to keep you from. This is stupid as fuck. What am I looking at? What's the California law? Is it what is it called? Like a webbed grip? What is a? What's the term for that shit? It's like a, oh yeah, this. Oh my god. Liberals. Why? Look, here's the CA compliant grip. You have to have the thing blocking the thumb. Look at this. Imagine holding this. You can't hold it. You have to like hold it with your fish mittens. What am I looking at? Yeah, there's another kind too where it's like this handle is compliant by you can't have the pistol grip. It has to like rear back like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's California regulations, you know. You can just make a hole. Yeah, the stupidest thing is like if you wanted to go Joker mode, it would take like very little effort to modify a firearm to make it. Okay, first of all, you can just straw purchase anything you want in the United States, okay? Trying to deny people access to lethal weapons in the United States is like trying to deny people access to weed, okay? You can go find any alleyway in the United States and go find a fucking non-California compliant like rifle. Okay? Like you can just go find anyone. There's people packing it in their trench coats, you know? This is a CA legal .50 Beowulf AR pistol. True and based. The California. The fuck am I looking at? Like, so are you calling for a repeal of every gun control law? No, I'm calling for a repeal of liberalism is what I'm calling for. And that's basically what I've been calling for my entire stream. I've said this a million times before. Look, okay. My concern with firearms is not if I have one on me, I'll defend myself from a burglar, because that shit don't work. It's not if I go to my local Walmart, I'll concealed carry in case I'm attacked by the Walmart demons. That's not it either, though that's an important thing to consider. The real concern that I have is that if society ever goes Joker mode, you know, for long enough, you might see far-right militias patrol the streets. This has already happened. This literally happened during the BLM protests, okay? Where there were cities, like Portland saw a lot of this, where, you know, in the chaos, well-organized, heavily armed right-wing militia bands that are out in the suburban or rural areas maraud into the cities and start essentially like occupying them, you know? Now, in a situation like that, which I do not think is like super unlikely, by the way, I'm not making this up. This is a thing that's happened historically and contemporarily, America and not in America, okay? If something like that's going to happen, I just want it known that left-leaning people, even libs, have firearms, that it's not just conservatives, okay? When these far-right militias are deciding where to take their energy, I want them to think, you know, before society went to shit, I did hear that people were stockpiling massive armories in the inner city just in case something bad happened. Oh, hey, lads, do you want to go into like downtown Seattle? No, I read that the millennials really took to buying huge stockpiles of 5.56 ammunition. Do you guys remember that story about the lefty group that bought like 8 million rounds of 223 Remington and distributed it along with guns to people in their neighborhood? I don't know if we want to go there, man. I don't. That seems like a bad idea, you know. And to me, that, you know, that information could be, is that legal? You can do whatever you want with ammunition, can't you? You can just, if you wanted to with ammunition, can't you just, you can just drive a car around and just throw boxes of ammunition out the back, can't you? Can you? You should be able to. Yeah. I'm going to say you can. That's littering. If littering is the only thing that's wrong with that, then I say you can. Who gets arrested for littering? Also, boxes of ammunition are like 5 pounds, and every bullet is literally an explosive, so probably don't throw boxes of ammunition at people. So, just, just so safety note, bullets are literally contained explosives, and they're also heavy, so don't throw them at people. Yeah, just little bit of advice there. My personal opinion. Would you also sponsor legislation on taxing gun manufacturers more? I don't know if the issue is gun manufacturers. I feel like the issue is the NRA and like the far right that promote firearms as some kind of masculinity enhancing solution to all of your life's problems, as opposed to what it really is, which is an exercise of political power and potentially a tool, depending on whether you hunt or, you know, stuff like that. It's the masculinizing it, making it out to be like this like politically partisan like lib owner. That's the real issue, I think. I don't think gun ownership is like the fundamental issue, especially because we already have enough guns in America to last us for centuries. If America never imported another firearm ever again, magically, we never did it, and we never produced another one ever, there are currently enough firearms in the United States to arm the citizenry for like millennia. That's not a joke. Seriously. There are so many firearms in the United States that we could completely cut off production and import and have enough in them to fuel constant civilian warfare for centuries down the line. We have hundreds of millions of guns, more guns than people in the United States, and billions of rounds of ammunition. There are so many. It is so saturated in the United States that, to me, the logistics of like trying to remove them are, it doesn't make a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. First of all, the vast majority of gun deaths take place in two contexts, okay? Suicide and criminality, often gang warfare. Now, there is nothing on God's green earth that the government can do to keep guns out of the hands of gangs if they want guns. Not with how many there are in this country. You can hand make guns. You can 3D print guns these days. It's not difficult. You can find a 20-minute YouTube tutorial and learn how to construct a homemade firearm that is not spectacularly reliable, but it's not impossible to make. The gangs are running hundreds of millions of dollars of drugs. They're going to get guns. There's no way of stopping them. That's a huge portion of the gun deaths in this country. Likewise with petty criminals who get these guns secondhand, muggings, whatever, you know, murders. I don't think that can be meaningfully stopped. And the other big one is suicide. And to me, the big thing we can do to prevent gun suicide is proper mental health awareness. If you have suicidal thoughts or, you know, paranoid schizophrenia, you shouldn't have a gun in the home. Seriously. Have a friend who's very mentally secure and keep the gun at their home. If you just don't feel that well, have them get a gun safe, keep them in the closet, in their closet, you know, and have them keep the gun there. And if you ever want to use the gun to go to the range, just say like, hey, do you mind if I pick up the gun and I'll go to the range, blah, blah. But like, that is a huge, you know, massively decreases the likelihood of hurting yourself, which is important. Suicides go up when there's a gun in the house, okay? It's really, we've heard all this before, Vosh, and it bears repeating. It's important to keep that in mind. What if you don't have friends? If you feel you're not mentally stable enough to have a gun in the house and there's no one with whom you can trust a firearm that you've purchased, then don't have a gun. It's fine. You'll live, you know? If you really want to fire a gun, you can gather up a friend and go to a range. This is the reason why, by the way, unless you already own a firearm, you need to bring someone else with you. You need a +1 when you go to most firing ranges. The reason for that is because they don't want people going, hey, here's $50, please give me gun, and then blowing their brains out. The adapter, if you want the adapter, why are you reaching at the Dove dark chocolate foil? I have Dove dark chocolate foil right here. I had a little late night snack. To put things into perspective for European viewers, you know how in video games you can run around and find ammo and guns everywhere? That's literally what it's like in America. Literally. You guys realize they sell guns at Walmart, right? I mean, you can literally like walk around, like like they're everywhere here in the United States, just all over the place. Well, they removed a lot of them from Walmart. It used to be they used to sell guns at certain Walmarts. I think they've kind of taken that down a bit, but they might still have it in rural areas. I know there was an outcry over that. Literally, Walmart. This is the largest big box retailer in America. This is America, folks. In an environment like this, you're not going to, like, remove guns from the hands of people. It's just not, it's just, there's too many of them. There's a lot of them. They only removed AR-15s. They still sell guns. Yeah, that's more lib shit. The vast majority of gun deaths are with pistols. AR-15s scare people because they look scary, because they're civilian versions of military rifles. In reality, though, AR-15s are a incredibly small portion of actual gun deaths. Do you know why? You can conceal pistols. You can't conceal... Well, you can conceal rifles, but it's obviously a lot more difficult. Yeah, the... It's you know, it's logistically harder to do. Yeah, you have to conceal them in a larger bit of your body. Yeah, you need a ghillie suit. You know, you have to wear a very baggy jacket. Yeah, pistols are far more dangerous because they're tools of mass shootings, which are an actual problem. Vosh, Jesus Christ. Statistically, mass shootings are okay. First of all, suck my dick. Second of all, mass shootings are not going to be fixed by limiting firearms. If that was the case, then why weren't there more mass shootings back in the days when it was way easier to get access to these guns, like, all around the place? If mass shootings are just a product of the availability of firearms, then we wouldn't have seen a spike of them in the 90s. Like, they would have been a thing going way back. Like, people have been owning semi-automatic rifles for a long time. Those have been around for like a century, you know. No, the issue with the mass shooting thing is undeniably mental health, civil society. And if you think I'm lying on that, then you're brain cucked, you're dumb, and you're stupid pilled. If you are intent on doing a mass shooting, you are signing your life away. Anyone who does a school shooting, they basically know they're going to die doing it. Their life is over. Do you really think a person with that kind of determination isn't going to be able to find sufficiently lethal weapons to carry out their cause in a country where there are hundreds of millions of guns? We're talking about like means and access here, but the access and the means of availability are so ubiquitous that I don't think you can really solve school shootings by removing hundreds of millions of guns. What we need to do is take mental health more seriously. So should you enforce a law where schizophrenics can't own guns? I don't know if the issue is necessarily schizophrenia, but I do support, you know, mental health interventions being a qualifier that can deny people gun ownership. You know, seriously, almost every time you hear about a mass shooting, there are like 4,000 red flags that are flown up beforehand, you know? Like, the mass shooting that happened at my college when I was at the college in front of the building that I was in at the time the mass shooting took place, hundreds of feet away from me, was done by a guy who, you know, if you're writing the profile on this guy, he's got a couple Joker mode red flags thrown up there. The most recent one in Michigan. That school, the guy he did the shooting. Remember, we talked about that one. That guy was, he was posting red flags for weeks beforehand. He was drawing himself shooting people in school, and then he was called into the office, and it's an issue. You should go through a psychiatrist to get a gun license. I don't think if you want to commit a crime with a gun, you can get a gun, okay? The issue here is these aren't problems that you can solve by limiting access to guns. Some gun regulations can be helpful. A 3-day wait, fine. We can talk about that. The issue that I have is that we're dealing with a more... honestly, the best way to regulate guns is to not even think about regulating guns. There are adjacent social issues that I feel you can target way more effectively in order to enforce the changes that you're interested in. Yeah, it's a sociological issue. Massively so, I think gun culture is the big one, personally. Other countries also have mental health problems, Vosh. Look at Japan. Jesus Christ, you can't pretend America's even worse. How many guns does Japan have in its borders? Wooloo enjoyer. Do you think there might be a bit of a difference? Do you think the government can just snap its fingers and instantly delete hundreds of millions of guns? You realize if they tried to do that, this country would be over, right? It's the Second Amendment. You realize there'd be blood in the streets. You can't just remove guns from the U.S., You can do gun buyback programs, but those won't even put a dent in the numbers in this country. Yeah, in Japan, where there are, no guns, the situation is different. Here, where guns are fucking everywhere, we have to treat these problems differently, because removal is not an effective way of fixing it. Okay, wait. Oh, God. We're on the anti-lib arc. What the fuck is that argument? Second Amendment? I guess we've never changed the Constitution before. Well, we've never removed one of the fucking Bill of Rights, have we? We've never actually just removed one of the foundational... If that's your opinion, what if we just got rid of the Second Amendment, then magically got rid of all the guns? Thank you, brilliant genius. Thank you, God Wizard. Thank you for being sent from the heavens to ordain the... Oh, you think we should just get 2/3 of the states to ratify removing the Second Amendment, prompt a fucking civil uprising from the millions of people who would treat this like the literal fucking Obama FEMA camp doomsday tier situation they think it would be, and then somehow get the government to remove enough firearms with the combined mass to sink a fucking battleship? Yeah, oh, sure. Oh, why didn't I think of that? You're right. Why don't we just pray to Gabriel and the angels to come down and just directly remove the guns? If we could perhaps pray them away. Jesus. Shut up, Sake. Jesus. Vosh thinking every sane gun take is lib brain when it's literally just not being America poisoned. Fine, maybe this is a European issue. If you think we can just pray the gun away, then you're not actually seriously talking about fixing the issues in this country. This is one of the problems I have with you fucking Eurocucks, you frogs, and you fucking Brit-bong crooked teeth dipshits, okay? The issue that I have with you fucks is you're so fucking snide. You think you're like us, Americans, in that you get to chauvinistically decide how other countries should run their shit. Well, you're not us. We get to do that. You know why? Because we win and you lose. Fuck you, all right? We Marshall planned you. Get bombed more. Get your fucking tubes blown out. Asshole. You cannot just pray away all the fucking guns in the United States. There are trillions of them. Quadrillions, possibly. Quintillions. Maybe sell less. Yes! If we sold fewer guns, maybe by the year 3200, we'd be at... There are so many... Do you know how long guns last? There were guns manufactured at the beginning of the 20th century that work perfectly well today. Do you have any fucking idea how long? We could... They genuinely don't understand, lol, it's not their fault. I'm trying to think of a way to, describe... It'd be like... I'm trying to think. Stop selling ammo. There are already 8 billion rounds of ammunition. Also, again, Constitution. You can't do that without fucking up the Second Amendment. Get 2/3 of the states to ratify? Get the president to sign? No. Does the president even have to sign anything for? I actually forget. I forget. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah. No? Oh, no, Congress does. Congress, yes. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Estimated number of civilian guns per capita per country. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's looking good. There we go. Got less than 5, which Japan belongs to. And then you've got, is that one country with over 100 guns per 100 people? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I don't actually know the words. What's up? What the fuck? Uruguay, Austria, Finland, and Yemen? Well, I can't speak to most, but I'm pretty sure Finland has a rich culture of gun ownership, doesn't it? It's all ice up there. They have to like defend themselves against moose or whatever. Advosh, countries with no guns have no problems with guns, but also they should introduce guns because liberals something. Okay, dude. Willow Enjoyer, when the fuck did I say other countries should introduce guns? Holy fuck. Why are you guys like this? When did I say that? Why are you so triggered? Chill. Nobody said that. Oh my God. Jesus. I get so emotional. Please let me on. This is 90% miscommunication. No, I haven't miscommunicated at all. If there's any miscommunication here, that's other people, like, not listening to what I'm saying. Oh, say, can you? Goddamn, California. Oh, wait, no, less than 10%. What are these again? This is New Jersey, and this is, what is this? New Hampshire? No, that's New Hampshire. What is this? Massachusetts? Connecticut. Massachusetts. Massachusetts, yeah. No, wait. New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey. Okay. Yeah, Massachusetts. All right. Okay. And New Jersey, yeah. Less than 10%. Oh yeah, Bablado, I'm only talking about America. It's a logical extrapolation of what you said. The whole argument that I made is predicated on the ubiquitousness of firearms in America. I keep saying, in America, you can't do this because there are guns everywhere in America. I keep saying this over and over again. It's not a logical extension, okay? You're being illogical. So basically, the U.S. is fucked beyond saving and should have done something 50 years ago, but profits? No! You can solve these issues. All right, nope. We're committing to this. Firearm deaths in America. Let's talk about how to fix this. This is your fault. This is all of your faults. There were 40,000 deaths, give or take, from firearms in 2019. 60% are from suicide. Oops! Well, there's issue number 1. So if we encourage proper firearm safety, have people who are mentally unwell or people with high degrees of suicidality, they should store their firearms elsewhere, or they should just not own them. We have like zero mental health awareness in America. You could cut down this number significantly with good mental health awareness. Massively so. The average American's understanding of mental health awareness is calling an exorcism whenever women like get angry because they didn't come last night from sex, okay? That's your average American like mental health understanding, okay? It's using a rotary phone to call a doctor to ask them to bring like a hammer and a chisel to fix their wife's hysteria, okay? So we could cut down on this significantly. Okay? About 15,000 people in the U.S. died from firearm homicide, accounting for 37% of total deaths from firearms. Firearms were the means for about 75% of homicides in 2018. So we should break down firearm homicides. What are the circumstances surrounding that? About 3% of firearm deaths are unintentional, undetermined from legal intervention or from public mass shootings. So, like, nothing. 0.2% of total firearm deaths are public mass shootings. Just because they're a big media spectacle does not mean that they're like the predominant, like, don't, not to say they're not tragic, but like, don't do the woke liberal equivalent of conservatives screaming that terrorism is like destroying America because like 0.2% of like murders were terrorism in 1 year. Okay. Don't do that thing. That's not a risk and safety, trends of firearms or death. Okay. We need to take a look at firearm homicides. Okay. U.S. firearm homicides. Let's break those numbers down. Fact, stats, homicide, CDC. Let's go. Okay. Assault or homicide. Firearm homicides. Mortality data from 2018. Mortality data. I agree. Abide by the terms. Bosh bad. Bosh bad. Bosh bad. Okay, how do we use this? This just gives us statistical data. No, this is just general firearm homicides. We need firearm homicide. Here we go. Gun violence in the United States. Wikipedia, as always, the savior of this stream. Let's go. Okay. Gun violence, tens of thousands of deaths and injuries annually. 2018, most recent year, which is available from CDC, National Health. Okay, we saw these numbers before. Homicides. 1905 suicides. In 2010, 11,000 homicides. About 6,000 involved a handgun. About 300 involved a rifle. Jesus. And libs are screaming about AR-15 bans. It's scary. 358 murders with the rifle. 6,000 with a handgun. Jesus, fuck. Okay. Compared to 22 other high-income nations, the U.S. gun-related homicide rate is 25 times higher. Stay winning, U.S. Although it has half the population, 82% of gun deaths. Right. Okay, where's the breakdown? Gun violence against other persons is most common in poor urban areas and is frequently associated with gang violence, often involving male juveniles or young adult males. African-American populations, high amounts of firearm injuries and homicide. Okay, is there like a statistic for how much of this is gang-related? Violent crime. Other violent crime. Quarter of robberies, victims, public policy. No, I want to see like how many of these are okay, mass shootings, comparisons to other countries, history, demographics of risk. Demographics of risk might be good. Let me see. Prevalence of homicide and violent crime, statistical metropolitan areas. Metropolitan area, the homicide rate was higher. Let's see. 17 to 24 age group was significantly overrepresented in firearm homicides. People with a criminal record more likely to die. Here, hold on, let me see. Can we Control F gang? I always forget that Control F is a thing. Please give me gang violence statistics. Here. Firearm homicides, U.S., attributed to gang violence. Gun-related homicides have dropped recently. 37% of firearms. There's the death. Gun-related homicides. 6 and 10 gun. What the data says about gun deaths in the United States. Does it say anything about gangs? Hit me up. No, it doesn't. Gang violence deaths per year, U.S. Statisticians are all cuckolds. I think this is what you want. Measuring the extent of gang problems. Do they have a firearm rate here? Or a homicide rate? I imagine almost all homicides committed by gangs would be via firearm. So I'm willing to count that in. Maximum. Okay, number of gang-related homicides. Let me see. In 2012, agents reporting gang activity coverage rate. Total gang homicides in 2012, 2,300. What would that be? About a fifth of the gun deaths? I need a better breakdown. I want to see, like, how many of these homicides are domestic disputes, how much are gun violence, how much were done in the commission of another crime, how many of them were heat of passion, like, you know, stuff like that. We're not outfitted for a full fucking breakdown right now. Yes. So guns just escalate general failings and core issues that were fixed in other gun culture countries like Switzerland? Yes. Guns are a force multiplier that exacerbate the existence of other sociological issues. And since it is, and let me be clear about this, not possible to remove guns from the United States in any meaningful way, the best thing that we can do is try to control the negative externalities with other sociological, with other sociological solutions. Anybody whose solution to any of these issues is get rid of guns is fucking delusional. Okay, like you have no right talking about this. You know, when I worked at a frozen yogurt place way back when, I had a coworker who was a really cool guy. He was a black guy. He was poor. He came from East LA. He had quite a distance to travel to get to the Beverly Hills-based frozen yogurt location that we worked at, and we were friends. You know, we would talk, and we were talking about firearms one day, and he said that he owned a firearm, which I didn't at the time. You know, I says, oh, you know, cool, and he was like, yes, well, don't tell anyone. It's unlicensed. I was like, oh, you know, California has all states. You have to license your firearms, of course. It's like, oh, why is it unlicensed? And he was like, well, I live over here, you know, and like everyone in my neighborhood has a gun, and we got robbed like last month, and like I don't know, you know. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to tell on you, but like, how did you even get it? And he was like, people have been trying to pawn their guns off to me for like years. That's all I had to do was say yes. In an environment like this, you're just not going to get rid of all guns. And then you did anyway. I had more than one black coworker. Jesus Christ. Man, go try to work with that. Narrator Vosh did telling him. In my past, I once met a person who said they did something, and they said don't tell anyone that I did it specifically. Good luck. Vosh, let's never attempt to change the environment. All right, Lord, you're getting a unique ban. I've been waiting to try this out. So this ban will actually delete all of the data from your computer. This will just remove you from the internet entirely. Which will probably be good for you, you know. There we go. They might die, you know. I know we can't get rid of guns today, but shouldn't it be a long-term goal, kind of like how there isn't going to be a revolution tomorrow? How do you plan on achieving that? Pow Draft, are you American? What do you have any idea what the situation we're dealing with here is? Do you even fathom how this isn't just a difficult logistical problem. This is a political impossibility, okay? I need you to understand. The Second Amendment is one of the most deeply ingrained political rights held by a majority of Americans. People don't want the Second Amendment removed. Even the majority of Democrats don't, okay? Libby as they can be sometimes. This isn't just, we're not just talking about the logistical and political difficulties of removing one of the 10 amendments, which is insane to begin with, okay? Like, you realize the Second Amendment is right next to the first one, right? I think more Americans care about the second than the first, all right? The First Amendment, you know, the freedom one, the Second Amendment's right next to it. Removing them, I think the Second Amendment would actually prompt more outrage, okay? That's the severity of what we're talking about. But if you can even imagine getting 2/3 of states, and you need 2/3 of states, by the way, keep in mind the majority of states are Republican. Because the majority of states have like 500,000 people. Like, there are a ton of states that have like no population. It's all rural. You would need, oh, is it 3/4? Actually, know much about is it 3/4 or 2? It's 3/4. Oh yeah, 3/4. You would need 3/4. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up a map. Let's pull up a map real quick, okay? So here are the 2020 election results. Look at that. You need to get 3/4 of these states to ratify removing the Second Amendment. This will not happen in centuries. I legitimately think it's more likely that 3/4 of these states vote Bernie Sanders or a Bernie Sanders tier candidate in than 3/4 of these states voting to ratify the removal of the Second Amendment. I legitimately believe that. Oh, this is 2016. Oh, whatever. 2016. I just Googled Trump election map. Anyway, but it gets worse, okay? Because not only are we talking about an impossible ratification process, we are then talking about the civil unrest this will cause, okay? Now, I don't know if you know this, but the main Republican fear-mongering talking point for decades has been, they're going to come take your guns away, they're going to remove the Second Amendment. If this happens, you go balls to the wall. You will be essentially flipping the green light on millions of Americans who have spent their lives being told that this is the end game of the FEMA-Obama world order takeover. There will be blood in the streets. There will be, I'm not joking, if there was somehow some magical removal of the Second Amendment, the death toll would be in the 6 digits by the end of the week. I legitimately believe that. You have no idea. They would be screaming, running out to their pickup trucks to the nearest city. They would light cities ablaze. They would be bombing everything and anything. It would be, this country would instantly have the political stability of Libya. It would instantly, it would break apart. It would be a civil war like that. No joke. That's not an exaggeration. This isn't Tim Pool level fear-mongering. It would be an immediate and direct removal of every institutional support. People who are saying good think that the next thing that would happen would be communism instead of fascism. You're very naive. The political backlash would ensure that, and keep in mind, by the way, who are the people who's mad, okay? The people who are mad about this are the ones who own the guns, okay? The people who aren't mad are the ones who don't own the guns. So what you're essentially doing is putting a target on the back of the people who wanted the amendment changed, and the people looking for those targets are the ones who have been stockpiling weapons and ammunition. Nobody who owns guns, at least not many of them, are going to be in favor of this. But we have an army. Do you think the average soldier would be in favor of the removal of the Second Amendment? Look, I get most soldiers vote Dems. Do you think the military would get on board with that? Military occupation would save some cities, okay? America would be fucking crippled. And why? Because you wanted to remove guns. You miserable, wretched fucks. Oh my God. All of this is worth it. Destroy the whole country. Kill everyone. As long as we have fewer guns. Except, no you wouldn't. Removing the Second Amendment doesn't actually remove guns from people's hands. Do you think there are enough government agents out there to go collecting people's armories? What do you think is going to happen the first time a police officer shows up at your average prepper's door and tells them it's time to hand over their guns? What do you think is going to happen when the federal government puts a 1 year down the line guideline, a deadline telling them this is when you have to hand in your firearms? How would they even check that? Do you think all of them are licensed? Do you think these are all legitimately owned firearms the government can track? Or do you think, as is the case, a significant number of them are straw purchases that would be impossible to track anyway? People would say, oh, I gave this gun to this, that, and the other. And and what? Oh, I threw this gun away last year. How do you know they didn't sell it to somebody? How do you know they didn't just give it to their son or their brother or a friend or a coworker? You have no idea. And they wouldn't have enough police officers. They would send police officers. They would send SWAT. They would send the National Guard. But there are far more civilians than there are any of those put together. And then you talk about the 3D printed guns. Oh my God. You can 3D print guns. Do you know that? Let me Google. 3D printed guns. You gonna regulate that? Here's a 3D printed gun. Do you think the bullet from it will hurt you less? Does it look like a does it look like it'll go easy on you? Is this some sort of soft bullet perhaps that isn't threatening? Ah, yes. There we are. All you need is plastic. Plastic and a bit of metal. No, but they're less reliable and they don't last as long. They'll last longer than your aorta will if a bullet from that thing tears through it. Trust me. So the government is just bleeding through civil servants trying to collect people's guns. You want to take their ammunition? How many rounds of ammunition have already been sold in the United States? Yeah, I can Google that. How much ammunition in U.S.? Let's see if we can... 8.1 billion rounds. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. That's not true. That's just how many of them were sold in 2018. My apologies. Sorry. That was just 1 year of production. My bad. Oh, how long can bullets last? Decades? Oh, no, sorry. Tens of billions in civilian ownership then. Undeniably. Inarguably. Even if you could somehow instantly stop the production of all ammunition in the United States, and good luck with that, by the way, as if there wouldn't immediately be black market forges mass producing, 223 and 9mm ammunition the day of the Second Amendment repeal, as if people wouldn't be converting their barns into like people would be melting down pennies and shit, whatever. They would. We've done this. This happens around the world. Even if you could magically stop the production of all firearms, we already own enough bullets to kill every human on Earth. America is the firearm equivalent of the current state of nuclear armaments around the world, okay? In that we already own so many, there's already so much that we're well into overkill territory. Now, I understand, the Europeans are sweating right now. Nothing that I'm saying right now is meant to be an argument that anything I'm describing is good. It's just about reality. When people talk about banning guns or ammunition in the U.S., you're as politically ignorant as a person saying we should just ban gang violence. What if we just banned crime? It's like that Ben Shapiro tweet, I'm offended by the simplicity of your analysis. But I understand. If you are a European, you might just not understand how much weaponry the United States has. It might be almost unfathomable, because if you're in Europe, like I have European friends, they've never even seen guns. You have no idea. You couldn't even begin to fathom. We could, every year, 8.1 billion rounds. It's unimaginable almost. Now, a lot of that does get shot into targets. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of it gets stored in armories. It's not a permanent cumulative accumulation. It just frustrates me. If we want to talk about sensible gun control, I'm okay with 3-day wait periods, 7-day wait periods, whatever. I'm okay with wait periods. I'm fine with that. I think that's good because it cuts down on heat of passion crimes. I think that's a good thing. I'm okay with basic criminal background checks, and I'm okay with some mental health situations flagging you for removal of your firearms. That I would that's kind of a logistical difficulty. And it's not easy to figure out where the line is there. And I'm okay with gun buyback programs. I don't think they're supremely effective, but if you want to get excess guns off the street, saying, hey, the government will pay you $300, turn your gun in. I think that's nice. Like, you can do that if you want. That's a choice you get to make. Do you agree with the way Europe regulates guns and stuff? Europe has a lot of countries in it. My consideration here is tailored to the United States. That's what I care about. Oh, the gun show loophole, straw purchases. That's something that needs to be cracked down on significantly. Massively so. It's one of the big issues, the gun show loophole, that we absolutely need to crack down on. Additionally, I'm sorry, I just saw someone in chat. Oh yeah, look, just the thing that bothers me is these liberal sentiments, get rid of all guns, or the people who they crow about assault rifle. What is an assault rifle? Do you know? No, you don't. What is an assault rifle? Do you think it's like a machine gun? It's not a machine gun. What's an assault rifle? What are you talking about? California just banned assault rifles, bro. There's no assault rifle. What's assault rifle? What was that? What is that? Rifle you assault people with? What do you beat them to death with? What are you talking about? Assault rifle is a rifle that fires intermediate ammo. No, I'm asking. The legal, the technical definition of an assault rifle is consistent, but the definition used by Democrats to describe weaponry is not. Assault rifle is a catch-all term for spooky guns. That's what it means in the eyes of people who actually legislate this stuff. It's spooky guns, like with pumpkins and ghosts drawn on them and stuff like that. And they legislate them because they're spooky. That's the main thing. One of the critical issues that I have is that so much of this, it comes down to people's intuitive fear of guns. If you're afraid of guns, fucking go for it, man. Guns are dangerous. Seriously, I'm afraid of guns. Fine. Guns are designed to kill things. That's what guns do. They are remarkable. They're very good at it. There's a hole in the front of them, and when you press a button or pull a trigger, something in front has a hole punched through it by an explosion and a piece of metal. It's incredibly dangerous. Yeah, that's fine. But you have, California legislators who will see something like this, and they'll quiver and shake and crunch their little Soylent bottles. No, that's scary. They'll get, when this weapon kills an unimaginably small number of people compared to this one. Pistols don't look as scary. Oh, it's a pistol. No! Oh, okay, well, that's just a pistol. No! No, well, it's fine. Yeah. Vast majority of people died to handguns, And the fact that they obsess over the assault rifles indicates to me that they're catering to people's intuitive fear of guns rather than actually trying to fix meaningful problems with gun ownership. It means they're not really trying to solve the problems. They're just virtue signaling. Okay. Here's the thing that we actually need to be concerned with. This is the last thing I'll say on the subject, okay? The ultimate threat to safe civil society. Okay. Pistols are dangerous because they can be concealed. Rifles are dangerous because they tend to carry more ammunition. The real thing we need to ban is the synthesis of these two threats. There is nothing on Earth more dangerous than the dual spiral drum belt 100 round magazine Glock mass shooting. Nothing else even comes close. This is what we need to take care of, okay? This is the danger right here. Doesn't that weigh 30 kilograms or something? Yeah, well. Guys, go ahead. Hey, listen, at least at that weight, there's no fucking recoil, right? Could probably fire that automatic, and there'd be no recoil. Because you're using all your strength just to hold it up. Okay. You dual wield them? Yeah, if you're fucking Dwayne Johnson. Okay, we have to stop. It's been an hour. I want it known that in spite of all of that, I actually only banned 2 people, and I gave them 800 chances to stop living in my chat. So I want it known that I am not as much of a tyrant as some people claim. Okay? Just take a deep breath. I'm serious. Everyone take a deep breath. All right. Back at it. Yes, Cookie Reaps, I've heard. It's only the 400th time I've seen that posted in chat. But don't worry. That's next. I gotta say, I still have a headache. This is my favorite thing of today. This is my favorite thing of the day that I would say. Black Hammer Times, that's the Gazi Kodso outfit. You heard it here first. The Black Hammer Org and the Proud Boys are forming a coalition to defeat the disgusting, pedo-loving, welfare economy democrats and their puppet master, Big Pharma, who has been poisoning us all for too long. Is this real? It's their Twitter account, and yeah, it is actually. Let's listen.
Hammer, and we need to all get on the right side of history, which is both sides uniting. The Proud Boys, Black Hammer, black and brown working people, white working people coming together against this elite big pharma situation. It is a fight between good and evil we in right now. This is serious stuff, y'all. This is serious stuff. I'm telling you, it's the situation of why I'm here. I'm not here because I like the way Gavin smell. I'm not here because money to bail me out, whatever like that. Trumpers put that money in ASAP and got me out. While BLM and Antifa laughed about it, ignored it, and said that they wish I died there because of my stance on pedophilia and the fact that I...
Gazi Kodso is pro-pedophilia? That's crazy.
I started reading the Bible more. I can't be a Christian and be a revolutionary. Jesus was a revolutionary against Rome, and shoot, Fauci looking like Caesar to me.
Why would he say they didn't want to help me because of my position on pedophilia rather than saying they didn't want to help me because they're pedophiles? Like, what? Why would he phrase it in such an ambiguous way? Why would he do that? I wonder. Yeah, what is his stance on the issue?
And first, I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of what you have built. I'm proud of the work you have done. I know it's not easy being
Is
a
Gavin
leader,
gonna talk?
especially against this Fauci empire, this Dementia Joe empire.
Well, you were there from day one.
Oh,
We say Uhuru because of you.
I know.
okay. So Gazi Kodso, I just want to be clear, is a actual lunatic who probably should be institutionalized. We were actually just last night, okay? You guys know the Channel 5 video, the Callahan, where he made fun of one of those Uhuru marches where it was like white people or black people saying white people should give them money. And then the org did a response saying that Andrew Callahan was a white nationalist. And anyway, we did kind of a rabbit hole thing, but I looked at we can just watch well, hold on. I don't know why I'm referencing something that happened in a prior I can just put it here on, I can just show it. Here you go. Brilliant stuff, really. Okay.
The African People's Socialist Party condemns the recent slanderous attack on our movement for reparations and Black freedom by a white nationalist YouTube personality by the name of Andrew Callahan. We think it is important to condemn this attack on our movement at a time when African people are being gunned down by the police every single day.
It goes on from there. White nationalists, etc. Yeah, no, it's good, and it keeps going. Okay, but anyway, we kept going down this rabbit hole, and we found an article. So this woman has run for office locally a couple of times. We found an article on blackhammer.org, which she's a part of, I believe, from Gazi Kodso saying don't vote for her because she's actually the puppet of another cult leader who's using her to do other race stuff. I don't know. The website's a bit slow, but eventually it's going to load. Yeah, okay. So then Gazi Kodso provided this video, which is of this woman talking about talking about her leader, so to speak. This is kind of like a cult battle.
Say like, you saved my life. You saved my life versus just being able to be born and live a free life and not having to feel like that. But we owe our lives to you, Chairman. We owe our lives to you because you saved the world. You saved the entire planet.
It is, I admit, just a short clip. I don't know if I could find the whole video. And I don't have anything against Passion, but I'm okay with saying all these people are in a cult. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I'm okay with saying that. I don't really care. You could come out with evidence that I'm wrong. I'd still believe it. I believe it right here in my heart. Spiritually, I believe it. It's a cult. They're crazy. So anyway, it's now I have saved the entire planet, so you can So anyway, they're all insane. So Gazi Kodso, just seeing this like weird culty infighting, but the reason I find this really funny, I think this in particular, is because I genuinely think, isn't this basically just like one step forward from the Jimmy Dore thing, right? Like, does this not just feel like a Jimmy Dore bit? Like, you could almost read this, like, what were they called? The Fred Hampton leftists? But they changed their name because Fred Hampton's son said, hey, fuck off. What are the Fred Hampton leftists called now? What are they called? What did they change their name to? One of you has to know. Revolutionary Blackout? Is that it? Revolutionary Blackout? Okay, gotcha. You heard it here first. Revolutionary Blackout and the Boogaloo Boys are forming a coalition to defeat, and then the rest of it would be basically identical, the rest of it would be basically the same. You could keep all this, really, but isn't it the same, right? Because this grift, this like, oh yeah, we're super left-leaning, which is why we only criticize and attack people on the left, love people on the right, work with people on the right, and all of our ideas are conservative, It's I feel like it's coalescing a little bit. I saw this just the other day. Jobson Jenkel? Gibson Jenkel? Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes. Recently changed his Twitter bio. Look, here was the last one, right? We've got the Jersey Shore. Communist, anti-imperialist, and American patriot. Streamer subscribe. Now here's the new one. Nicer photo. Actually, a really nice photo. Won't lie. American patriot. Streamer subscribe. Now, this was the guy who was screeching that he needs to remove his DSA pin from his jacket because he wants a hammer and sickle pin. I mean, this guy was so communist that he was demanding his audience donate him a hammer and sickle patch to put on his yeah. And then yoink. The grift is accelerating. Okay? The grift is accelerating rapidly. As I've said before, whether you're talking about Jimmy Dore, the pseudo-leftists formerly known as the Fred Hampton leftists before Fred Hampton's son got angry at them, Glenn Greenwald, a lot of people like this, their principal goal, and I don't know how much of this is deliberate, how much of this is stupidity, whatever, is to take disillusioned left-leaning people and move them over to the right. But this is a temporal process for every individual member of this group, because the more aggressively you move your audience over to the right, the less easily you're able to appeal to new disillusioned people in the left. You understand? It's a one-way train. You start in left station and you move further and further right. The more right you move, the more conservative your audience gets, but the harder it is for left-leaning people to get on board. Does that track? Jimmy Dore a couple years ago was nowhere near this insane. Not even close. This process, it advances with time. So I find stuff like this funny, the Black Hammer, Gazi Kodso. I'm not even going to bother trying to like politically tear this apart. It's obviously self-defeating. But this stuff is basically the end of that train, it's the end of that road. That's the far end of things. So eventually the self-parody reaches the point where, every tweet you make is just going to get ratioed into oblivion. This is just an attention grab. The Proud Boys aren't as big anymore, and Gazi Kodso's an attention whore. So it's not surprising to me. I actually got an email from Gazi Kodso's producer once. I've talked about this before, but let me see if I can find it. I got an email from them before. Where they were inviting. Yeah, here we go. Let me read this. Hold on. My name. Oh wait, I shouldn't say the name of the person who emailed me. That's a bit of information that's not relevant and would also be a little bit uncouth. I work for Gazi Kodso of the Black Hammer organization. I'm emailing you because I believe Gazi would be a fantastic guest on your YouTube channel opposite you in a debate. This debate would fortify each side's political stance. Listen to the language. Gazi would help increase viewership on your channel. Recently, Gazi was on Elijah Schaffer. He's a Groiper now, I think, basically, but this was a year ago. Page. Pay attention to how well the interview does compared to other interviews without the same month. Gazi's interview was heads and shoulders above others in terms of viewership. He's being sold like by a talent agent. This isn't about advocating for a political position. This is about let's both get attention from this. This is 100% like a grift stuff, The unique perspective Gazi offers would bring you new audiences and tap into a younger crowd. Take a look at his most famous and viral video. I have never gotten an email from any agent, any manager, any political figure that sounded even remotely like this. This is unique to me. I have it starred in my inbox because I've never gotten anything like this. Usually people ask if I want to talk or say there are some interesting subjects to discuss. They don't sell it to me. They don't pitch the viewership. Yeah. Very funny stuff. Did the FBI send you this email directly? Yeah, it was sent directly from the FBI, of course. Anyway, brilliant stuff. So, you enjoy the ratio. Stuff like this is really funny. Now that I'm looking at it, does anyone else feel like Gavin McGinnis looks really soy? Like now that I'm looking at it, this DreamWorks face, doesn't he? He literally looks like an older and skinnier, the guy who does that the show where he like looks into a subject and makes it look like oh, it's not as good as you thought it was, or like the disillusionment thing. What am I talking about? He's like Adam something. Adam ruins everything. Adam Conover. Yeah. Doesn't, right? A little bit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have anything against Adam Conover. I don't think. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like vibe wise. I can't even... Can I get, like, a DreamWorks face here? Here we go. Maybe a little bit? I don't know. I feel like a little bit. It's really kind of an energy thing, in my opinion. It's an energy thing, not necessarily an appearance thing. It's an energy. It's spiritual. I'm feeling their vibes right now, okay? Their chakrams are resonating. It's a whole thing. You wouldn't understand. You're not spiritually attuned like I am. God. You know, actually, while we're talking about Nazgul Vortex type shit, do you think maybe we should take a look at what Breaking Points has been up to? I feel like it's been a little while. 2/3 of a million subscribers. My God. Let's see. Oh my God. How do you run a channel like this? This is 9 videos all posted at the same time 4 hours ago. All just segments of a bit. This is destructive. They don't do that all the time. Whatever. No. Plenty of views. Not saying they're doing poor, views-wise. Crystal Ball dismantles MSNBC lies about Assange. Hey, can I be real with you guys? Okay? I want Assange to die in a CIA black site just because it would trigger all the worst people on Twitter. Can I be real with you guys? I don't even remember, like, shit about him. I don't even care. The whistleblowing shit is bullshit. It's just the worst people in the universe like Assange. And I honestly think the utility that you would get from their anger would be superior to anything you could get from, like, proper civil rights or whatever. Yeah, no. Oh, God. Already shipped the clip? Good, ship it. Ship it. This is getting included in the video. This isn't the preamble. I'm leading the video with this, yeah. I like Snowden. Snowden's cool. Be honest, you only dislike him because of what he did to the Democrats in the election race. I'm going to be real with you. If Julian Assange exclusively released info to help Bernie win over the DNC, and that was the only thing he did, I would still say the whole CIA black site thing. The fact that he's a horrible person, incredibly annoying, and also is, like, conservative and just politically reprehensible only adds to my convictions. Do you like Chelsea Manning? I like Chelsea Manning, even though she doesn't follow me on Twitter and therefore is a bad person. All right, hush up. Chris Wallace quits Fox News. Wait, really? Wait, Chris Wallace? Wait, really? Oh. You didn't know? No, I missed that. Oh. Huh. Well, he was always one of the more reasonable Fox News hosts, so, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Investigation. Was white nationalist DC rally staged? Ooh. Oh. I didn't even cover this. Ooh. I want to see. let's see. The DC rally was... I actually saw some Fed infighting online, which was really, really funny. Okay, so basically, every time white nationalists do anything bad in public, all the other white nationalists online will rush to say they're feds because they never want to take ownership over, like, anything. That's like the immediate response. They're always accusing each other of being feds because they want to, like, disavow, stuff like that. Which, sure, fine, whatever. But the funny thing was, I saw the funniest tweet, okay? It was like... It was somebody saying, like, just because they're not fat like you retards doesn't mean they're fats. It was basically like, yeah, these guys are the real white nationalists, and all the fake, Groiper Tubalard Americans online are saying they're feds because they're, like, BMI is below 30 or something. I saw there were replies to that tweet. It was the funniest thing I saw. It was so goddamn funny. It was, the idea of Nazis arguing with Nazis, with one of them being like, "You're a federal agent. We've never done anything wrong." And the other one's like, "No, we're not. This is what real Aryans look like. You're just, you think everyone who can see their own dick when they look down is a federal agent because they have fitness standards." All right, okay, I'm sorry. I'm too fun with this. Yeah, plot twist is they're both feds.
Something.
But feds are Nazis. Why do people say otherwise? People are like, that's not a Nazi, that's a fed. I bring you the synthesis to this problem. Feds are Nazis. Therefore, you can be both.
We're always on the watch for here at Breaking Points are obviously staged marches and perhaps false flag events. May sound conspiratorial, but
Right off
given
the
so
bat.
much of what we know about state conduct, from the Black Lives Matter riots to January 6th and many of these other right-wing groups, to the indictments of the Gretchen Whitmer people where there were actually more feds involved than actual conspirators, I think we're probably on balance right to be skeptical of any major event that takes place.
Wait, how are we qualifying that? More feds involved than actual perpetrators? What's the metric on that? I don't know enough. 13 people were arrested? Do you mean like there were more feds, like they were secret agents, or like they were plants, or they were just involved in the arrest? I don't know. It's Sagar. We don't need to.
Here in Washington. And recently there was one which caught our eye, not just ours, but a lot of people, a group calling itself, quote, Patriot Front, marching on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Let's go ahead and play this video. You can see...
They were informants, not agents. Yeah, okay, there's a critical distinction. Yeah, I don't care. Let's focus on this.
Masked gentlemen wearing hats, in uniforms, marching with shields and with American flags as well. And what you can see there, Crystal, is what a lot of people flagged as a potential, quote-unquote, staged event. Now, we don't know the truth. I want to say that at the very top. But there are some very suspicious things that happen in terms of popularizing and making people afraid of this. So this Twitter sleuth actually went...
Yeah. The Patriot Front is a thing. It didn't come up out of nowhere. I mean, it's new, but there are a lot of white nationalist orgs that are new because, you know, Charlottesville and splitting and all that. Big old wiki article. Activities. Well, yeah, here we go. More than 100 members held a rally in downtown D.C. chanting Reclaim America. I mean, I don't even think there was any violence there, but yeah. Now, are a large number of the people in Patriot Front informants? Almost certainly. That's going to happen to any extremist group. Almost certainly that is the case. I will not argue against that. But just because almost every extremist group has informants, that doesn't mean that the extremist group isn't a real extremist group. Like, those aren't mutually exclusive, right? You know? Like, the KKK has informants in it, absolutely. Literally, the Black Panther Party had informants in it. That's how they got Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton's advisors had informants in them. You know, does that mean that the entire Black Panther Party was like a Fed op? Like, you could say that about literally anything. You know, there are informants everywhere. I'm an informant. Why do you think I did Antifa work back in Santa Monica? You know, yeah, I was ratting out names. Absolutely, we've all been informants, you know. Yeah, CIA asset Fosh. True. Oh my God, he admits it.
Deep into the person who was the very first to actually tweet about this so-called fascist march in Washington. Let's put this up there on the screen. This was the woman. Okay, now her Twitter handle was Cheryl Llewellyn. Now let's go ahead and put the next one up there, please. The next tweet actually shows that she had just created a brand new Twitter account.
What?
Immediately after tweeting the video saying, happening now, 500 men with riots, shields are marching in Washington, D.C., she went ahead and tagged a ton of journalists in order to make sure that it showed up.
Oh, okay. So a person created a new Twitter account, probably with a fake face. Could even be AI generated. Recorded the march and then posted it. Okay. The most likely explanation to me would be that this is one of the members of Patriot Front or a person associated with them. They wanted to get a ton of eyes on their stuff and knew they would do so if they framed the video posting from like an innocent civilian perspective rather than from the Patriot Front people like crowing and, you know, bragging and shouting into the camera. So they did this, and they want attention, of course, because that's literally the goal of doing this march, for attention, and then they tag all these groups. That seems like a really likely explanation. I would bet that's probably what happened.
In their mentions. Go ahead and put the next one up there on.
Wait, who is this other account? Jarvis Best. Hold on. I'm instantly suspicious of anybody who has like an old painting. Oh, this person has blocked me. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. You're not getting out of, not getting out of my scrutiny. Let's see. The most recent tweet from them is a quote tweet on Anita Sarkeesian. I'm going to make a movie where someone does a racist joke in the first 90 seconds, then Anita jumps out from behind a trash can and gives a 2-hour lecture, and then the movie ends. Going to call it That's Not Funny. Interesting. Locked in the past, are we? Well, let's see. Just some sort of random stuff. Don't really see anything especially interesting. I was just wondering if this Twitter account had any particular affiliations or anything especially interesting. Though the fact that they blocked me, I see we have a fan. All right, sorry, let me see. Anything here? Bad takes on Christmas music. Some stuff for Tim Pool. Yeah, okay. I didn't know if this account had any affiliations.
On the screen, please. What you can see is that people who claim to be experts then in the so-called Patriot Front then jump in to say how much they know they're going to travel by U-Haul. He tweeted, actually, though, as a so-called expert about the Patriot Front for the very first time. And he was also right about the equipment. So
if you're in the DC area and see Penske, U-Haul, or other similar trucks that aren't filled with freight, take out your camera and start filming. That's how Patriot Front typically gets in and out of a city. They're likely staying at a private residence in nearby rural suburbs. Is this really like a suspicious thing to say? Yeah, of course, an extremist group wouldn't all book at the hotel. They're not going to call up the Marriott and go like, hey, you know, we were planning a Nazi rally and we all need like bed and breakfast. So do you have like a bunch of spare room? Like, yeah, they probably have friends in the area they're staying at, and they probably need to move their equipment around. Like, yeah? Especially since the inner city DC area isn't going to have that many U-Haul trucks anyway. I've been next to the White House. I've been where they're marching right now. And there aren't a bunch of people moving around all the time. There's a ton of government buildings in the area. Government buildings don't move their equipment around via U-Haul trucks. The only people who do are civilians, or civilians trying to transport large amounts of equipment. This feels like a pretty reasonable thing to say, especially since Patriot Front has existed in the past, as have similar organizations. Like, it's not like they only sprung into existence right then. They've done other things, you know? In February 8th, 2020, approximately 100 members of the Patriot Front held a march in Washington, D.C. They've done this before, a year and a half ago. They did this same thing a year and a half ago. And there were other groups similar to Patriot Front. I don't see how this is particularly suspicious. Now, some of you might be wondering, why am I taking the time to debunk Sagar's speculation that this is some sort of false flag thing? Well, I don't actually know. I mean, anything could be a false flag, and I wouldn't really know. I just think these are really spurious arguments, and I've seen a lot of far-right people like to downplay the existence of other far-right groups, you know? It reminds me a bit of Lauren Southern on Dave Rubin's thing, where Dave Rubin was like, what even is a white nationalist? And Lauren Southern was like, there are like no white nationalists. Of course, Lauren Southern's a white nationalist, and, you know, Lauren Southern inspired a ton of other white nationalists. So, you know, it's an effort to downplay. I don't think much of Sagar's political beliefs. Let me see. Did this Christopher Goldsmith person refer to Patriot Front beforehand? Not that I can see, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a You were right. It was Patriot Front. They just don't believe it. What is this? Yeah, this looks like it's the whole Twitter thread from which they're pulling these criticisms. Let me take a look. I don't know where this account claimed to be an expert, but let's see. Oh yeah, here's our detective. Okay. She tagged a bunch of journos. She was immediately retweeted by the journos and activists. Yeah, no shit. There's a video evidence of a white nationalist march in DC. Of course they're going to, yeah, obviously. Some of which, like this guy, call themselves disinformation experts and fash hunters. Cool. There's no Google history for anyone named Cheryl Llewellyn. Yeah, this is probably a fake account. Her only other tweet is one asking for money. Yeah, this is almost certainly a fake account. Obviously. Yeah, like, even if this wasn't from Patriot Front, if you were, like, recording this stuff and posting it for your own safety, wouldn't you want to anonymize yourself? I don't know. Christopher Goldsmith claims to be an expert in Patriot Front. Where? Where is he claimed to be an expert? I don't think it's that spectacular. To guess at the U-Haul thing. Look, this guy said shit about Patriot Front. Oh! This guy has tweeted about Patriot Front before. Oh! And he's tweeting about the trucks Patriot Front rented. Oh! So not only has he tweeted about it before, July 5th, 2021, it's specifically in reference to the pattern of behavior that he is later indicating and being called suspicious for. Ah, but you see, it's doubly suspicious that he knew before as well. Yeah, this I'm pretty sure this guy is actually, like, the part of his job is to look at this stuff. Anyway, okay, so, you know, this is a lie right here. Good investigation, you know. John points out, oh, sorry, we're skipping ahead of the video. My bad. Oh, here's a tweet from 2020 from Christopher Goldsmith about Patriot Front. Wow. And they're continuing to talk about the manner by which Patriot Front runs their operation. It seems like this guy actually would be a decent... Yeah, actually, this seems like exactly the kind of guy who would get a guess correct on whether or not U-Haul... Yeah, this is from November 16, 2020, just over a year ago. Hey, Lilith.
How exactly did he know? And then put the final one up there on the screen, please, because what we see from the...
Oh, do we have another one? Did they seriously just say this guy tweeted about Patriot Front for the first time and never actually checked the earlier tweets? This is from October 27th, 2020. How could he have known? This is the first time he's even mentioned it. Jesus. Yeah, they're sourcing from tweets right now. This is why I don't trust people who say that independent journalism is more trustworthy than general media. Like, it doesn't Breaking Point do that talking point? The mainstream media lies. This is a video citing a tweet thread that's like provably false, you know?
These series of tweets from these accounts is that, look, there was no Google history for anybody named Cheryl Llewellyn. Joined Twitter a few days ago.
Yes, it's
her
a fake
video garnered 1 million views. Some of these so-called disinformation experts were immediately able to retweet, amplify, and gain credibility.
Immediately able to retweet. Sagar, when a person tweets something, everyone is then capable of immediately hitting the retweet button. The only thing that would prevent you from doing that is if you were somehow these disinfo experts were able to retweet the video. You can do that quite easily, actually. It's surprisingly intuitive, I think. Do you think maybe they noticed the video because they were tagged? Do you think maybe... How did they know this video was posted? Oh, that's right. This account tagged all of them. That was like the first thing we established. How did they know? Well, you know, probably wasn't too hard, actually.
ability to the video and more. Is it somebody who works for the government? I have no idea, but it looks pretty sketchy and it looks weird. It looks also like an event meant to cause panic and justify.
Yes. When white nationalists hold rallies, those are events meant to cause panic, draw attention. That is the reason they do it. That is the reason. Yes, that is a reason to do that thing.
Some sort of crackdown here in Washington, but we would be remiss.
Is any evidence justify a crackdown? This is like the Obama FEMA camps logic. This is the Alex Jones Sandy Hill shooting was a false flag logic. Anytime something like this happens, it has to be the. Did I say Sandy Hill? Sorry, Sandy Hook. I knew I messed that up somewhere. I was thinking, what other hill is there? Shooting something hill? Green Hill Zone from Sonic. That must be it.
Miss Crystal, if we did not say that there is a perhaps alternative explanation.
Right. So what happened is after.
Oh shit, Crystal. Crystal. It's not all L's from you. Are you gonna hit us with a W?
This chick gets called out for basically being fake. She then, the account transforms from an anti-fascist, oh my God, this is terrible, what's happening here account to actively supporting, to being an active supporter of Patriot Front.
Really? You mean it's almost like Patriot Front posted that themselves? The immediate first thing that I thought of because I'm an adult and my brain is fully developed? That's incredible. Really? You think they would do that? Create an ambivalent looking account so that when they tag a bunch of journalistic organizations, they get retweets without people thinking that they're directly supporting the organization? You think people would just do that? Do the obvious thing that makes sense? What's the tag for this account again? Hold on. It's Cheryl. Let me see. Here we go. Reclaim America, Patriot Front US. Wait! How am I so... Wait, hold on. Am I a federal agent? How was Vosh able to effortlessly, with no prior info, predict that the account that would post the video of Patriot Front and then tag a bunch of journalists might have actually been from a representative of Patriot Front? How did he do that? I should be a disinformation expert. Jesus, is it this easy to outsmart the... Oh, Twitter always does that. It assumes that I'm typing into the search window. Is it that easy to outsmart the brain warriors at breaking points? All right, let's move on.
This chick gets called out for basically being fake. Actively supporting to being an active supporter of Patriot Front. So interestingly, the Washington Post actually wrote this whole thing up with their headline being a white supremacist march in DC was pushed by a fake Twitter account, experts say. Now their explanation, which also would make sense, is that this account was actually a fake account set up by Patriot Front to...
Oh my God. No way. That's crazy. No way. The obvious thing, the thing that would make sense, there's no way. It has to be something. It has to be the government did a false flag where they just marched around for a bit and then went home. That's what the government did.
Call attention to their march, because if you are a legitimate group that wants to get attention for whatever activities you're doing, this is also the sort of behavior that you would engage in, tagging a bunch of journalists, posing as just like, oh, sweet little innocent DC resident so troubled by this, to try to get their attention and get it amplified in the media. If that was their intention, it worked very well. But I think it also raises a larger question about, like, you know, all of these...
No, you found the answer. You found the answer. We got it right here. You know, we found a perfectly logical explanation for everything. This is you know, Occam's razor. We found the easiest. We've hit oil. Stop digging.
journalists and activists on Twitter who ultimately amplified this march.
From a fake account, with 1 million views.
Right. Coming, you know, that was initially.
Okay. The fake account doesn't change the fact that the video was real. The video was what they were responding to. I don't think people retweeting the video of the white nationalists were like, this Twitter account is real. They're reposting the video. The Twitter account isn't the operative issue here.
Initially reported on by a fake account. If this is a legitimate white supremacist group, you're giving them exactly what they want. Of course. You're giving them tons.
You're lying to cover for them right now. You're speculating that this entire thing was a federal agent op. You're giving them what they want. This is perfect for them. They get to do what they want, and then assholes like you will lie to cover for them afterwards, thus downplaying the, you know, their political prominence in the country, which is perfectly in line with what they want, because they do that. You can't call disinfo. You just sourced a Twitter thread. You sourced a Twitter thread that was empirically disprovable by my idiot chatters in like 30 seconds. You
tons of I mean, that's the whole goal. They have like 100 people there. It's not that many people, and you're giving them millions of views and tons of traction and ultimately tons of power by doing that. Now, what the Washington Post says is that this group, Patriot Front, was sort of a splinter group after the Charlottesville Unite the Right catastrophe.
Okay.
That one of the leaders of the groups that was involved there, that I can't remember what the name of the previous group was, but anyway, goes and forms
Adolf
Patriot
Hitler.
Front. His name is Thomas Rousseau, and the previous group was called Vanguard America. And so this was like a new incarnation of one of the groups that was at Charlottesville, is what the Washington Post is reporting. So that's what we know.
That's all we know. It's fishy, and I think that people...
You arrived at the solution to the conundrum. Why was a fake Twitter account posting about the march in a way that got attention to the march and then later ended up being support of the march? Because it was a fake account made by Patriot Front. How did this Twitter disinfo journalist, so-called expert, know that they were going to use U-Haul trucks? Oh, well, he talked about it before, and the same thing happened a year ago. And he's talked about it plenty of times before, and actually everything just happened to, like... Come on. You see the rest of this Twitter thread. They stop looking at the Twitter thread. I wonder if it gets, like, crazier with time. Hold on. Somebody's claiming Cheryl is an AI blend. Yeah, probably. Tons of other weird stuff has been dissected. Media didn't interview them or track their U-Hauls. They cover their face. They don't know what's going on. But if your bullshit detector isn't redlining, you should get it looked at. How? What? Media didn't interview them or track their U-Hauls? They were at their march. You can't always get... Wait, what? They just did a march. I don't even know if journalists were out there. Well, you can't always immediately get an interview. Goldsmith is claiming he was duped, and the Cheryl account is now claiming to be Patriot Front. Yeah, okay. Cheryl is now presenting herself as Patriot Front, but also warning about the rise of Patriot Front. Okay. Yeah? I'm detecting a desperation vibe. Trust me, guys, we're real. We spent 4 years setting this up. Okay, this guy legitimately thinks the United States government spent 4 years preparing to send 100 white guys on a quick march down through D.C. What the fuck is wrong with these people's soup brains? How insane do you have to be? I just got like a twinge of pain in my frontal lobe when I realized that if Shu was here, she would probably be Pepe posting in support of this account. And this person's now just pointing out that the Cheryl account is fake, which we know. Yikes, background on Goldsmith. From the Daily Caller. Well, I'm convinced. Goldsmith, now with Vietnam Veterans of America, said in 2008 while serving in Iraq, he sabotaged the weapons of Iraqi allies, leaving him defenseless. Well, if that actually happened, that's bad as fuck. I don't know what that has to do with the situation, though.
Anytime they see these sorts of events, which are obviously, geared in one direction to inspire a sort of response, should be very skeptical about what's happening on the inside, who are the actors around.
What?
Events, which are obviously, geared in one direction to inspire a sort of response, should be very skeptical about what's happening on the inside, who are the actors around it. Don't immediately retweet and amplify. What do we learn from the Nathan Phillips video with that kid from Covington Catholic? Sometimes there's more going around. Many actors on many sides have...
What? It was a fake account created by the group to promote the attention grab. What? There's no other layer to this.
A lot of vested interest in making sure you see one specific thing and to try and
what other
amplify
side? What do you?
in one
He's such a fucking coward, dude. Sagar, I will talk with you one day, Sagar. Can't avoid me forever. You're larger than me now, yes. No, you're not. I'm taller than you. I will get you to answer this. You can't Pepe post your way around this shit forever, okay? You're vaguely gesturing it. Well, be careful, be cynical. What's the alternative? What is he saying? The government set this up? What do you... Just say it. Say it. Just say that. Just say, I think the government did this false flag. Just say it. Quit with this coward... saying whether or not Sagar and Jetty cannibalizes children in his basement? Well, I can't say for sure, but, whenever there's a possibility, and we can't prove that he isn't, you should always be careful and look around. Wait, stop! Jesus! Well, yeah, at least Alex Jones says what he's saying. Fuck.
Particular way. So that's what we're trying to do here. A lot of people fell for this thing and thought there was some crazy white nationalist march here in DC.
What? Is he saying the video was faked? The march happened. That happened. What do you... It happened. It wasn't a hologram. Was it a hologram? It might have been a hologram. Sagar? Was it a hologram? Tell me.
This weekend, everything was fine.
Well, the funny thing is, too, that the people, and this is a point the Washington Post article makes, is that if their goal, if this is a legitimate, white supremacist group, and their goal is to attract people on the far-right fringe, well, they failed because those people all think that they're feds, so.
No. Their goal is to posture and get attention. That is the main thing they care about. That is their principal interest. Guys, hologram tech is getting crazy.
Center calls the group a, quote, white nationalist hate group. The Anti-Defamation League calls
also, right-wing people always call all other right-wing people feds, okay? If Adolf Hitler was brought back to life and led the fucking Fourth Reich to retake Europe, people would call him a fed. Everyone always calls everyone else a fed all the time on the right, okay? Because you all are pussies and you're too concerned with optics to own the fact that all of you suck.
A, quote, white supremacist group. And you might have seen videos of
look at these holograms, man.
Philadelphia. They would, so we could reclaim America. The Southern Poverty Law Center calls the group.
Yes, Hitler was literally a fed.
And their faces are all covered.
To be
so
fair,
there's no way to
a lot
know.
Of them are probably still feds, regardless.
There's no way to know who they are, track them down, see if they have any connection to the federal government. But
that's crazy. Do you really think that? You really think white nationalists would cover their... That's so suspicious, dude. Because after all, there's absolutely no history of far-right groups hiding their faces when they do public demonstrations to avoid reprisal. This can only be the work of federal agents. There is no other example in history of people hiding their faces to avoid the KKK. All of them feds. When was the FBI founded? When was it founded? When was it founded? 1908? No, it wasn't. It was founded with the formation of the KKK, which was 1865, okay? It's the whole secret history of America. It's crazy, okay? I'll do a stream on it later.
But anyway, that's what we know.
There we go. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll have more for you later. Hey, guys. Thanks.
My pleasure. Ooh. We're gonna be have a nice conversation next time we talk with them. This is why having people you can trust in media is important. Thanks, guys. They sourced a random tweet thread that lied about the other. Ah! I can't. It's too much, dude. I can't. I'm gonna commit a crime. This is my last stream. It's over, man. It's over. God damn it. The past 2 years, graduate elementary school before going on YouTube, have made me question every major media/political event of my lifetime. Thank you. Hard to justify surveillance from the state without a new boogeyman to fear. Is there, unironic question, is there a single example of any federal legislation being passed in response to a far-right attack? There has to be at least one, right? Is there any? Any? Is the federal government that incompetent? It just keeps doing this over, like, maybe this time. Like, Sandy Hook was fake, but what came of it? Nothing. 9/11. Okay, 9/11. We know Bush did 9/11. Apart from that, we already know that. They're just okay. Good on you two for doing actual journalism. They cited a tweet thread. They looked at a tweet thread. They looked at a tweet thread. They looked at a tweet thread that was wrong. They looked at a wrong tweet thread. At least the tweet thread author had the audacity to actually say that it was that the government had spent 4 years planning this or whatever. I mean, at least they had that. I mean, at least that's something. Oh, here's an example. The Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871. There we go. So the feds really do have an incentive to do false flag attacks in order to prompt. Listen, just once every 150 years, okay? That was 1871, now it's 2021. Once every 150 years, the cosmos align and the federal government. God help me, my headache is coming back. They passed the Anti-Asian Hate Act. Was that from a far-right COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act? Let me see. I don't think this really counts. This is just an expansion of hate crime laws relating to the types of ways you can discriminate against people in, like, ethnically. I don't think it's like a government crackdown prompted by like a far-right attack or whatever. Anyway, let's just keep reading comments. It's hilarious that nobody bought the idea the rally was legitimate. Those riot shields look like they've been used for some time. I wonder if any department keeps a circular shield as opposed to the more standard rectangular one. Is this person suggesting that these Patriot Front people brought their work uniforms? Are they suggesting they would be, yeah, dude, time for our well-planned federal crackdown inciting Nazi rally. Let's bring our fucking uniforms. Are you fucking kidding? You're gonna find a department of the here. Oh, did you hear about the Nazi rally? Yeah, everyone's supposed to bring like their, badge number, their social security number printed on their forehead. Yeah, dude. Oh, my head. Oh my God, I can feel the pulse on my skull through my hair. This is the FBI's bread and butter. Wow, real journalism, refreshing. Thank you. This is what I see in my head when Shoe on Head talks about how journos are corrupt and how I have more respect for the most soy-chugging CNN technocrat than I do for anyone who takes Breaking Point seriously. Unironically, I would, in terms of how much damage you do to this country, I unironically think that the most MSNBC consuming, lib-brained fucking brainlet, the most vertically challenged of all mentals, okay? I prefer them. Crystal and Saga are light years ahead of legacy media. Great journalism. Yes! Look at this tweet thread. Look at this tweet thread. Light years ahead of establishment media. A CNN, MSNBC, NBC, Fox have nothing on these tweets that were wrong. That were objectively wrong, that you could just look at. They were wrong. You could search on Twitter right there. You can use the search function. You can @ someone and then search for a tag from that @. Light years ahead. They're crushing it. You can just watch them marching and know they're feds. Oh, my fucking head hurts. Oh my God. This is why this is a dangerous far-right narrative. This is the talking point. It seems the demand for hate crimes and racism far exceeds the supply. This is why this is dangerous, okay? The point of casting doubt upon the legitimacy of marches like this is to make it seem like there's no real racism, there's no real threat, there are no far-right groups, there's just a bunch of hysterical liberals who are crying wolf anytime anyone so much as throws an okay sign up in public. That's why they're so obsessed with doing this. The demand for racism exceeds its supply. That's not true, of course. Racism abound, and nobody wants it. But by pretending that the existence of racism is something people have to constantly manufacture and bait, they essentially downplay its existence. This is a far-right talking point, one that Crystal Ball, right here, is perpetuating. Love the journalism. Thank you for doing what you do. I'm going to have to take my frustrations out on Shu. Shu better fucking hope she doesn't show up to Politicon. I have every time I see shit like this, all I can I just get fucking visceral flashbacks to her tweets, and she's going to get Asaka'd. Oh my God. Holy shit. That's not, wait, Twitch, that was a joke. I'm not threatening violence against a person. I'm not. She didn't do anything wrong here. It's just... Can we say this is a joke? Is this okay? Am I getting in trouble? Am I going to get in trouble in this? With Twitch? Me at Politicon when I hear another anecdote about how actually Breaking Points is better than Journos. Yes. It's a joke. At TOS 1984, it's a joke. She was my friend. We're good. It's all good. Thank you. It's all good. Twitch, it's all good. Thank you. Ow. Fuck. I went a little hard with that one. Okay. Blaire White. Blaire White. Blaire White. Blaire White. I was going to go to the gun range today. God. Blaire, why? Blaire, why? Ow. Okay. I'm gonna have to stream tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys. Normally, when I have a mild headache during streams, I have the self-control to not be very loud. But you know, sometimes the memes are just too good. Not to imply that I'm being disingenuous or fake and performative. Sometimes you watch Breaking Points, you know. Take some Adderall. Adderall isn't a painkiller. Excedrin's good for headaches though. Okay. I love you all very much. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. I'll read donos tomorrow morning. We'll do morning stream tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow morning. Raid Shu. Is Shu streaming? Shu streams sometimes. Whew. That's a doozy. Gotta ride those waves. For which I mean the waves of crippling pain. Thank you. So wait, the title was clickbait? Yes. And I fucked your dad. Let's see. Who are the range of people we could potentially raid here? Nekosaurus. I follow the Antifada, but we're not on good terms. Sansul. Lumiru. Keffels. Giant Grant Games, if you guys want to watch StarCraft 2 challenge runs. By the way, Giant Grant Games, in my opinion, the best StarCraft YouTuber around right now. His challenge runs of the StarCraft 2 campaign are really well put together. Really, really interesting. Raid them, why not? No. I don't want to. Demon Mama? I don't see Demon Mama streaming. All right, Jazz Dog. I'm only looking at this because you're you. Oh, this is sick. Damn, dude, you animated this shit. Okay, Jazz Dog. Hold on. Let me save this. I'll do my considerations later. I can't make any promises about what I'm going to do, though. No, it looks like a perfect loop. I can't make any promises about anything, though, because there's an animator that I have in-house, and by in-house I just mean like I talked to them. I'll need to make some decisions. Either way, right now there's no reason why I couldn't use that now. But yeah. I always feel bad when people do work for me for free because like I feel like I owe them. I know I don't, but anyway, it's very good, and don't allow my apprehension to detract from the worth of that work. Anyway, please look. No! You know what? I don't fucking even care. I'm literally rating... Wait, is Giant Grant Games doing anything interesting right now? I have to watch an ad. 2 ads. 2 ads. 2 ads. More like 2 aids. Play. Run. Function. Now another ad. It said 1. Stop. Stop. Stop.
I need to try it first.
No.
120.
Okay. DM is literally going live soon. I'm going. All right, we're rating Giant Grant Games. All right, here's the rules, guys. Giant Grant Games doesn't do politics. Just go in there and say, we love you. Just say that. If you don't care about StarCraft at all, then just go say we love you and then leave. Okay? That's it. Just don't be fucking weird. If you all get me in trouble, I'm going to be super fucking mad at you. I will literally go back to the VOD, check through his stream log, see which one of you Twitch chatters was annoying, and ban you in my chat. If you think that I won't do that, I have done that before. That's not a joke. I take great vindictive pleasure in doing that. We love you is a bit weird, lol. Nah, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna raid, then I want to see what happens. Twitch chat has been deployed.
Zerg aggression has petered out a little bit, except for the fact that they're attacking exactly right now. Oh gosh, what is happening?
This is normal.
Oh, hello. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. A lot of people. Okay, it's not bots. That's good. How you guys doing? So we are playing the 3-player StarCraft 2 co-op campaign that is supposed to be, you know, played by 3 player at once. Yes? Yeah, it kind of looks like bots. We'll see. Yes? I'm going to assume it's not. Alright. And it's ridiculously hard. We've been absolutely getting trounced the entire time. But we're going to try to... Come on. They're incredibly aggressive, and they hit from like every angle at the same time, which has been fun. And then we're playing with the Madness difficulty, I believe, on top of that, which is 50% increased damage taken for all of my stuff. And all these things combined has made it quite the experience. We're currently on Char for Heart of the Swarm, which is the first planet that you go to after the main thing. So we only have the Queen, the Ling, and the Baneling currently, which is bad.
Alright. I'm satisfied. Alright. I love you guys very much. You're beautiful people. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll try to get some sleep and take some fucking ibuprofen or whatever. Alright. Be well and take care.